convert and pull. And what we're going to do, we're going to open up a drawing that's got an ear, scan of an ear, and it's got an existing standard ear bud. And what we're going to change, the actual standard ear insert to match more the profile of the ear. This is a really cool topic, which is what a lot of industrial designers do, which is taking an existing product and updating it to be this year's product. What convert and pull does, this is going to be a great example of taking a combination of things. One of the trends that's been talked about for a few years is called mass customization. The ability to take what would be a standard product offering and being able to offer it in some special form. For example, here with the earbud, where the transducer and the housing, the cord, everything about it is a standard except for the little foam that fits in the ear. This foam piece can be a custom fit. You'll possibly already seen this with some companies, and they are using physical molds. In this example, what we will do is take a scanned mesh of an ear and leverage it to build up a custom foam piece using all the same tools or most of the same tools that you have already seen today, plus one additional one, and we will end up with a solid model, something that can be 3D printed, or the negative could be printed to make a mold and go from there and see what you think. So that's what we're going to do. The demonstration is I'm just going to close this, and I'll close that one. And finally, we're going to open up our convert and pull. Now, which one is it, the left or the right? Let's go to the left. Now, there are a few things that work in this file. We have a multi-body design of our earbud, and we have a body that is the mesh of our ear. Yeah, so that's our earbud, that's the multi-body design, and that's the mesh of our earbud. So what I want to do first is turn off some of the extra bodies, because what I don't need at the minute is all these on display when I'm working on here. So if I open up all these bodies here, all I'm really bothered about is currently that one. So if I turn off body and just leave that one, and if I zoom in a little bit and we have a look around, you can see the sort of standard body, how it interferes with the ear. And I think most of us actually probably just shove it in and not bother. But with this mass customization, what people are looking at now is a more bespoke sort of offering and fit into this. So what I'm going to do is turn off the ear first as well. What I'm going to do, come to the ear, let's just turn off the, oops, wrong one. Let's turn off the ear mesh there. And just do a quick conversion. So in the sculpt environment, in the utilities drop down, I have a convert option here. What I want to do, I want to convert a B-rep face to a T-spline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select initially, B-rep face to T-spline. I'm going to select this face there. So like before, it's asking me how many faces we want. So I'm going to say 8 around the body. 8 around the body. And 4 for the width, yeah? 4 going down that way. And I want this new face to be a new body. Okay. And you'll see the new body appear. So if I now come here and turn off that body there, you'll see now I've got this nice new T-spline body. If I turn my ear back on, there, and take a look at my fit, yeah, so what I want to do now, make sure in my selection filters that I've got select through on. Yep. What I want to do now, I want to actually use some of these mesh points and some of these vertices and get them to mesh together or click together with the nodes meshes in the actual ear itself as a guide for the nodes and the seeds for fitment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use something now called, where is it, pull. You can see now it's asking me what do I want to select, and I actually want to select all of them. I'm going to select all of them. Target is auto. Select them all. You will see that they auto snap. So if you notice now, they've actually auto snapped to the nearest mesh there. So every single one's auto snapped. It's not done a bad job really, but you can see the gaps. You can actually see the gap there. It's actually brought it in a little bit tighter in there, and there's a bit of a gap there. So okay, so it's now snapped that in. So what I want to do is there's that gap that I want to get in. I'm going to actually insert an edge here. So if I modify, insert edge, if I select, I can get hold of it. Let me see if I can get hold of an edge there. That one. There. 50. That's fine. There, it's now put that just in there. Press OK. Smooth it out a little bit. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just run that tool again. So modify, pull, select them all. You'll see now how it's now pulled that in a lot tighter. Press OK, and that is a lot better fit in there. Now I'm going to turn off the ear. So you'll see now this shape that we've got that fits into our ear. Now, just like before, I'm going to try and clean this up. So if I go to my left view, and if you remember that trick that we used before, I'm going to try it on this side where I want to try and flatten now this face. So if I double select this edge, modify, then using this scale and pull that all the way to 0, enter. That's now flattened that face. Now this time, if I select this front edge here and modify, what I want to do is I want to change the actual pivot point of where this is pivoting from. Set pivot, click on it and select that node there. I have to remember that I have to click done. And once I've done that, if I now, let me just zoom straight on here first, pull this down to 0 again, and it's now flattened that face off as well for me there. So I've now got 2 flat faces just by using that same tool. Now that we've done that, let's turn back on our this bit here. Because what we're going to do, we're going to pull up a little bit on what we've done here. I'm going to use this, one of these edges. I think I'm going to use that, and I'm going to create a surface here that we can pick up on this afterwards. So just like before, utilities, we're going to convert, and I want this. And this time, if you remember, we had 8 before, but we've added 1 to make it 9 because we inserted an edge. So I'm going to change that to 9. If I go OK, remove body 9. Now you'll notice now that it's actually created a torus from that. So just by selecting and pressing delete, we can now create that part there. Now, one thing to watch out for is creases in our models, which will be viewed as a hard line. If you actually look on this now, you can see on this bit here, it's like a thick, darker line of these lines. That is because that is actually creased, and if we actually look at the model there, you'll see there's a bit of a lip where it's creased. I can, in modify, go uncrease, and I can select them. Okay, and it will increase that. And actually what I can do, I think that looks like it's creased as well. That looks like a darker line. So if I go modify, uncrease, and select that there, that's actually uncreased. Yep, that's uncreased that for us as well. And press OK. Now we can use the bridge tool. And what we're going to do, we're going to actually bridge between this face and this face. So modify, bridge, side 1, double click, side 2, double click, add 2 faces, preview looks okay, press OK, and suddenly we've now got this earbud that's starting to look something like it should do. Again, any creases? No creases. Crease the edge. If I was then to turn body 9 back on, this is now what we're looking like. Now we want to convert this inside cylinder, this bit here, to the enter a B-rep. So again, utilities, convert, B-rep. I want to select the inside cylinder. With the preview on, check the output, and you see it looks like it's adding 9 faces down the length now. If you actually look here, it actually looks as though it's adding 9. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Not around it. So change that 4 and that 9 around. There. Say OK. Turn the body 9 off. And now we've got this internal there that looks okay. Use bridge one more time. Select the front edge of the cylinder. So I think what we're going to do now is, if we move this round there, we're going to now bridge between these two. So modify and bridge, and we've got that edge and that edge. Number of faces, let's put 3 in this time. Okay, and there we go. We've now got this insert. Now we have our last step, but you'll notice there's no design history for this form, with it being an imported file. And maybe I should have actually turned it on before I started, but you can turn it on at any stage by right clicking on the top level and selecting capture design history. Now that's popped me out of the sculpt, but I can go back into the bottom timeline. So if you notice, it does pop me out. I can go back into sculpt at any point. Just click in there, OK, and I'm back into my sculpt environment. Now I'm going to thicken this in here. You can thicken in the solid environment by creating a parallel surface with a ruled surface between it, but using thicken in the sculpt environment allows me to select the body and then select the thickness offset, making sure it's going inside. So if I go modify, thicken, select the T-spline body. Now I say this particular model is in inches, so I'm just going to put it at 0.01 of an inch. Going inwards. Now one of the options is you can select the thicken type, with sharp being the type ID you get in a solid model. Use a soften thicken type. I think, yeah, I'd rather use a soften one. Softens it up a bit. It constructs a parallel set of T-spline bodies. And then what it does do, it allows you then to have an inside and an outside T-spline body when you thicken it, which means that you could actually change the contour of either side, and one's not reliant on the other. So if you want a different A to B side, rather than just having a simple offset, you have that option. So for this, I'll choose soft and then OK. And you'll see now it's thickened it up. Let's turn on these particular bodies now. See what it looks like. They're all done. And there. And you can see now it's starting to look something like it should do. Maybe not perfect at the minute, but I think that's a real customized. Yeah, let's see what it looks like in the ear. It's a lot more snugger and tighter fit for that particular individual and their ear.